Hi, it's your girl Zulu Nurse, and I'm back today with you guys for another video. Today, I want to talk about things that I do outside of my business that still helps my business. For those of you that are new here, I welcome. Hi, take a seat, let's talk. And I have created this channel where I talk about how I am currently working a full-time job as a nurse while simultaneously building my business in the health and wellness industry as a vaginal health expert. So taking the skills that I've learned as a nurse and applying it and being able to be a boss of my own time and creating a freedom that I desire is essentially the goal. So if you're new here, if that is interesting to you, please subscribe and follow this journey with me. And as I take you on this path or this journey of being my own boss, today I want to talk about things that I do outside my business that helps my business. We all know that there's things that you have to do to maintain your business. You got to make sure that your finances are in order. You got to make sure that your inventory is in order. You got to make sure that, your content creating and your platforms are good, and, you're constantly making decisions. But there's things that I specifically do on my days off that helps my business. And I didn't realize how much I needed these tools to help me. And just full transparency, I had no desire to ever own my own business, ever. Like, I was okay with working for the man, getting a guaranteed check every week, and drifting off into the sunset with my retirement. Like, that, I was A-okay with that. But unfortunately, there's some things that have happened to me in my career that I love my career, but there's some things that have happened to me where I said, this is not sustainable. This cannot be every day. This can't be for the rest of my life, which in turn has planted a seed that has now made me want to become an entrepreneur, a CEO, a boss babe, whatever it is you want to call it. I have 100% embraced that title because there was a point in time where I was fighting it. But needless to say, just to get into this, number one, the thing that I do is I'm always learning. I have recently got into this coaching course of with Ronnie Brown. I don't know if you guys know her, but I've been following her for a few years. And her name is Ronnie Brown. She has Ignite Your Brand. She has the Girl CEO. And so I've been really following her. And so I've recently enrolled into her program. And I'm going to see how that helps me. Already just from the free stuff that she has done when it comes to her YouTube and podcasts and Instagrams, that has helped me. So I'm sure something that I've now invested in, I have no doubt that I'll probably get something back, then some. So always learning, putting myself in, positioning myself to be in a space where I can learn from the people in front of me. So whether that's conferences or that is networking events, or whether that is, I will say this, I've learned when I was first starting off, I kind of like dived headfirst in, and I started realizing that a lot of, not a lot, but some of these women empowerment brunches, if I should say, are not always as helpful as they make them out to be. So I've learned to be a little bit particular about where I go to learn stuff from, because just like me, as I'm trying to make money, so are they. So I need to know that whatever money I'm putting out there, I'm going to see a return in my investment. So I will say I will have to be kind of cautious about that. But always being willing to learn. And so that's a big one. Number two, I've started listening to podcasts, YouTube channels, and I'm about to start getting into audiobooks. I used to be one that was like really big on like sitting down and reading books, but I don't really have the time for that. So my friend told me just put an audio, like the same way that when you're in the car, you put on music to go to work or whatever the case may be, put your audiobook on. Because I do that with my podcast. I do that with certain YouTube channels as I'm getting ready in the morning for work. Sometimes I'll run like a YouTube channel and I just hear them talking in the background about business, or, as I'm on my way to work or walking around the grocery store, I'm listening to Ronnie Brown's podcast or the Social Proof podcast. Things that are about entrepreneurship, owning businesses, and self-development sort of platforms. I'm really, really big into that because at the end of the day, it is feeding me and I'm essentially growing from it. Number 3, and this one I'm still honestly working on. I haven't quite mastered it yet, but it's something that I think is forever growing, or you're forever doing, and that is building community. Being around other women who are doing the same things that I'm doing when it comes to building business, when it comes to, being a CEO of your own life and running a brand or building a brand, being around like-minded people. I want to say it just has to be women, but being around like-minded people and creating that village of support. Sometimes we hear, it's like crabs in a barrel. And it's just like, it doesn't have to be like that. I can learn from everybody. Even if someone else is doing the exact same thing as I'm doing, I know that there's something that I could learn from them, and it doesn't have to be a competition. It doesn't have to be a competition. And I think the hard part about that is that sometimes you kind of have your own circle of friends. You have your own people that you mix and mingle with, and especially if you're living like busy lives, you're trying to make time for your friends, you're trying to make time for your family. It's just like, okay, now I gotta go make friends, like business friends now. It can seem a little overwhelming, it can seem a little daunting, but while I believe that it has to happen organically, the importance of it is that you have to be in spaces that are doing the things that you want to do. I didn't become a nurse by myself. I did not. It wasn't just a classroom of just me. Someone else that was a nurse taught me. And I work with other nurses because that's what I do. So I just take that same format and I put it to the business sector. In order for me to get to where I want to be, I got to be in rooms with people who are doing the same thing. I got to be in front of people who are in further positions than me so I can learn from them how they did it. You know what I mean? They say that if you're the smartest person in the room, then you don't need to be in that room. So they also say birds of a feather flock together. And I'm trying to be with the same feathers. Okay, if you get what I'm trying to say. So those are just the few things that I've started embracing and developing outside of my business that internally helps my business. So, just to recap, things that I do. Number 1, learn. I'm always in the position of being a student. Number 2, I'm listening to podcasts, YouTube channels, audiobooks that are based off of entrepreneurship, business strategies, and brand building. And then number 3, I'm building a community of people that are doing the same thing as me or similar things as me, in the business industry, in the business realm, to help me eventually grow this business. Because if I'm being honest, I don't always know what I'm doing. I just be winging stuff, throwing a dart and hoping it sticks. So putting these things into practice has now given me a bit more strategy and more direction instead of just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping for something to stick, So if you like this video, like, share it, and of course subscribe. I'm definitely trying to build this community, and I'll see you again next week. Y'all have a good one. Bye.